Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Norm. It is December 13th, 2018, and this is our update on the persecuted church around the world. This from persecution.org, International Christian Concern. As Christians around the world prepare to celebrate the Christmas season with joy, things are different in India. Indian Christians are worried. They foresee a tougher Christmas season this year as attacks on their community and places of worship continue to occur on a near weekly basis. Across the country, pastors have decided to cancel rounds of caroling and other Christmas programs as a safety precaution. Quote, keeping in mind what happened last year, we have canceled the carol rounds and Christmas events this year, unquote. Pastor Vinod Kumar, founder of the New Life Prophetic Ministries in Tamil Nadu's Coimbatore district, told International Christian Concern. Quote, the situation for us in Coimbatore and Tirupur is not favorable at all. We are not sure if we can peacefully celebrate Christmas even on Christmas Day, unquote. Pastor Vinod, who leads a church in PN Payalam, was the victim of an attack last Christmas. On December 9th, 2017, while Pastor Vinod was leading a pre-Christmas celebration, a mob of 150 Hindu Munani activists barged into his church, beat those gathered, and destroyed Christmas gifts which were to be distributed among the congregation. Following the attack, more than 20 Christians were detained by the police. Thankfully, they were all later released. However, authorities decided to close down the church in PN Palayam. Quote, still today, the church hall in PN Palayam is locked by the government authority, unquote, Pastor Vinod reported. Quote, we are far from doing anything in the name of Christianity in that village, let alone Christmas celebrations, unquote. In the weeks leading up to Christmas 2017, multiple attacks on Christmas events were reported in Rajasthan. Among those reported was an attack on over 500 Adivasi tribal Christians gathered in Samudaya Bhavan, a government community hall in Pratigar. The event was organized under the banner of Messiah Shakti Semite. On December 19, 2017, members of Vishwa Hindu Parishad brutally beat the Christians gathered in Partigar for the Christmas celebrations. Several Christians sustained injuries, and 2 others were arrested on forced conversion charges. Quote, we know our Constitution gives us the right to worship and the right to assemble, but in practice we are at the mercy of the majority religion, unquote. This year, we are not sure how many will turn up for the Christmas celebration, having bad taste of last year's event, unquote. Pastor Bansilal, leader of Messiah Shakti Semite, told ICC. We had to completely stop all of our church activities, including Christmas carols, unquote. Unquote, Pastor Sam P. Jacob, a pastor in Uttar Pradesh, told ICC. Quote, I am not the only person to stop church activities. The majority of independent churches in the Agra region are under pressure and they are being harassed by the Hindu radicals, unquote. Pastor Sam was attacked in Agra by the members of VHP and Bajrangdal on October 30th, 2018. Pastor Sam and his pregnant wife, Regina Sam, were brutally beaten with hockey sticks and baseball bats as they attended an event to map out Christmas programs with other pastors in Agra. Pastor Sam said that he is not sure what the situation will be like on December 25th. Because of this uncertainty, he is planning for a secret Christmas event with other local pastors facing a similar situation. Quote, the last year has been a difficult year, unquote. Pastor Karma Ura, head pastor of the Believers Church in Hermu, Jharkhand, told ICC. On Christmas Eve 2017, Hindu radicals dragged Pastor Karma out of his house and brutally beat him. Quote, prior to December 24th, 2017, more than 35 people used to gather for worship, unquote, Pastor Karma explained. Quote, since the attack on the Christmas Eve service, 5 families went back to their previous religion. From that day onward, we stopped the worship service in the village. For this Christmas, we cannot think of having an event, unquote. Across India, Christian leaders find themselves under pressure and conflicted this Christmas season as attacks on Christians and Christmas programs have become more common. Many are considering canceling traditional Christmas programs in the name of safety and security for their community. In particularly hostile places, Christian leaders are pushing their Christmas celebrations underground. Remember to pray for these Christians in India whose holiday will likely be marred by fear and intimidation. So, I saw this story and really wanted to kind of talk about it. Even in some Muslim countries, Christmas is allowed, tolerated, I guess, would be a better word for it, where the celebration of Christmas is allowed to go on unhindered and without attack or persecution in that sense. Whereas in India, more and more we're seeing it where attacks are happening. Radical Hindus are coming in and attacking these groups of Christians while they celebrate Christmas. So we want to really make sure we keep them in prayer, remember them as we celebrate. We have no problems here. We get mad because Starbucks takes snowflakes or snow or whatever off their cups and won't say Merry Christmas. And we get angry about that, and we claim there's a war on Christmas when across the ocean we literally have brothers and sisters who are being beaten and arrested and seriously persecuted because of their faith in Christ, and they're forced to take their celebrations underground. So just consider that this year. When you go to Starbucks and you get your coffee and you want to be mad because they didn't say Merry Christmas or they said Happy Holidays or you got a plain red cup, consider your brothers and sisters who are overseas who are not even able to think about having any kind of Christmas events. And again, there's a reason why. There's a reason why these people are willing to endure that persecution that they're going through, and it's simply because that Jesus came. That this is a reason why we celebrate this holiday. It's not about gifts. It's not about saying Merry Christmas. It's not about decorated cups or decorated homes or decorated anything or presents or trees or anything like that. It's about the fact that Jesus came, that God was incarnate. God took on flesh. The creator of the universe confined himself into the body of a baby and lived and grew and went to the cross to pay the penalty for our sin. God, the creator, became creation. He became part of his creation so that he could, one, be a proper representative for for sinful man, and two, so he could live that perfect life that only he could, fulfill the law completely so that he would be an acceptable sacrifice on our behalf. And those people, those Christians in India, understand that. In other places around the world where they're persecuted, where they're beaten, killed, imprisoned, truly persecuted for their faith in Christ, understand that. They're not doing this to live their best life now, because they know that is not what Jesus promised. Jesus promised in this life you will have trouble. But take heart. Right? Jesus never promised us prosperity. He never promised health and wealth. He promised trials and tribulations. But he promised that he would be there. Take heart, because I have overcome the world. So just keep that in mind, as we come into these holidays. And again, I don't want to be the downer. I don't want to be Debbie Downer. Wah wah wah. Right? I mean, celebrate your holidays. enjoy with your family and gifts and all those things. There's nothing sinful about it unless you let that take the place of Christ in Christmas. And I think so many so many evangelical Christians, so-called Christians in this country today, are willing to get so angry about Starbucks not saying Christmas, but then idolize the commercial aspect of it over what Christ did for us. So just consider it. I'm not saying don't do Christmas. I'm not going to bring up, pagan holiday, any of that stuff. Celebrate your Christmas, enjoy your Christmas, but pray for your brothers and sisters and make sure you remember why we celebrate Christmas. Why it's called Christ's Mass. It's because God, the creator of the universe, became man. And he who knew no sin became sin, so that we might become the righteousness of God in Christ. So, remember to pray for your brothers and sisters around the world who are persecuted simply because of their faith in Christ. And as always, preach the gospel at all times. Use words, they're necessary. Until next time, Soli Deo Gloria.